Some people claim you should pursue your ambitions. This unfaithful woman, Serafina, heard that and assumed it meant install Tinder. Today, the lesson of the tale isn't profound. It's simply never betray the partner who tried to create your ideal future. Unless your ideal future includes legal hearings, support payments, and sobbing in a tiny apartment. She insisted I kept her from her goals, so she strayed. I walked away, and she soon understood I was the sole reason her world was still stable overall. I am Jax, 35 years old, and for 8 years I was married to Serafina, 34. We were still navigating the choppy waters of first-time parenthood. Our daughter, Alara, was just shy of 2. I had a rough upbringing, parents who specialized in mutually assured destruction. I vowed to break the cycle. I swore that Alara would never see that ugliness, that Serafina would always have a rock-solid partner. I was obsessed with being the amazing husband and the phenomenal father I never had, but it seems my efforts were fuel for her eventual resentment. You can pour your soul into a relationship, but an ungrateful heart will always find a flaw. The backstory is crucial. We met in a bustling, old-money university town, call it Viridian Coast. After graduation, Serafina declared her life's blueprint, a master's degree, followed by a prestigious role in art curation. I backed her 100%. After the ring was on her finger, I constantly, perhaps too zealously, pushed her to apply for that program. I was now earning a respectable income. I could buffer the costs. But she stalled. Indecision became a habit, an endless loop of next year and not the right time. Then came the seismic shift. A massive opportunity landed in my lap, a partnership track at a leading tech firm in a megacity 3 states over, Neoterra. The kind of offer that changes a family's destiny. To decline would have been financial and professional suicide. Serafina was anxious about leaving Viridian Coast, but ultimately, she embraced the move, excited by the promise of Neoterra's towering skyline and vibrant art scene. Once settled in our new, high-rise apartment overlooking the cityscape, I brought up the masters again. My new salary meant the tuition was practically pocket change. Her response was venomous. I only wanted to do my master's back in Viridian Coast. You ruined the plan. It made no sense. Neoterra had institutions objectively superior for her field. But she dug in, claiming the move had orphaned her ambitions. I tried to compromise. The program was only 12 months. I offered. If the old school is that vital, go. We can handle long distance for a year. We'll fly back and forth every weekend. She shot me down with a cold. I hate long-distance relationships, Jax. You know that. A complete stalemate. She wouldn't relocate for a year, and she wouldn't consider the superior schools right under her nose. I was out of options. Frustrated, I dropped the subject. We never spoke of her dreams again, not until after Alara's birth, a planned, celebrated event. We were a family. We had achieved balance. Or so I thought. This is where the carefully constructed reality shattered. The hook came on a rainy Friday night. Serafina claimed she was taking Alara for a sleepover at her cousin's place in the suburbs, a semi-regular occurrence. I was settling in for a rare night of quiet when a text pinged. It was from an old college acquaintance, a guy I hadn't spoken to in years, who happened to be at a trendy rooftop bar downtown. The message read, "Hey, old man. Isn't that your wife? She's certainly animated tonight." Attached was a grainy, low-light video. The quality was terrible, but I knew the expensive designer trench coat she wore. And I knew the way she laughed, a head-tossed, overly familiar laugh. She was leaning close to a man, her hand lingering on his forearm with a proprietorial touch. It was enough to stop my heart, but not enough to crush my denial. I needed proof, concrete and undeniable, to prevent my mind from constructing the defense attorney for her already. I waited until Sunday afternoon, when Serafina was deep into a nap, and Alara was watching cartoons. My hands were shaking, but the need for truth was a physical ache. I went through her phone. It took seconds. The first thing that caught my eye wasn't an innocent text chain. It was a purple and white logo. Tinder. The sight of that application icon on the home screen was the final, irreversible blow. The digital imprint of a stranger's fleeting attention. I meticulously documented everything. The meetup plans, the exchange with the guy from the video, and the sickening realization that this wasn't a one-off. There were exchanges with at least 3 different men over the past 3 months. The cousin sleepovers were merely a convenient alibi, a babysitting service for her nocturnal exploits. I prayed her cousin was clueless, but then I remembered Serafina seemed like a good person too. The discovery was a physical wrenching. I wanted to scream, to smash every piece of art she'd curated for our apartment. I respect people who can calmly lawyer up and plan their exit strategy. I am not one of them. I was raw, bleeding, and needed the truth to escape my chest. The next evening, after Alara was asleep, I called her into the living room. She saw the storm in my eyes and knew the game was over. "I know what you've been doing, Serafina," I said, the words tasting like ash. "Tell me why. Just give me one last truth." She tried to deny it, a pathetic, last-ditch effort. I cut her off. "Stop. I saw your phone. It's over. Tell me why you chose to deliberately hurt me like this." A long, agonizing silence followed. Then, she let the facade drop. She admitted the cheating, offered a flat, rehearsed apology, and then delivered the true blow. "I didn't do it because I hated you or was bored, Jax. I did it because I was dead inside. I needed a spark, an excitement that new people offered." I asked why she never came to me, never gave me a chance to fix the perceived deficiency in our life. This is the point where my reality warped. She looked me dead in the eye, devoid of remorse. Only resentment. "There was nothing you could do. You were the reason I felt this way in the first place. You held me back from my dreams." I recoiled as if struck. The one who paid for her undergraduate, who moved us to a better city for our future, who was prepared to pay for the master's and endure a long-distance marriage for her dream school. I was the anchor that drowned her. I rattled off the facts. I supported her more than she supported herself. I was the one who stopped pushing for the master's because she wouldn't accept any school but the one in the old city, and she wouldn't accept 1 year of separation. I asked her if I should have turned down the life-changing career move to stay in a stagnant city, waiting for her to finally apply to grad school. "You're just trying to make me the villain," I accused, my voice low and dangerous. "You feel like a failure at 34, and instead of taking accountability, instead of admitting you wasted the opportunities one provided, you slept with strangers to self-medicate. You went nuclear because you couldn't face your own stagnation." I stood up. "We're getting a divorce. There is no other path." She finally broke. She sobbed, not from sorrow for me, but fear for her life's trajectory. As I walked towards the door, she launched one last, unforgivable dagger. "Are you sure? Even though it was you, even though you pushed me to this." The audacity, the utter, dizzying refusal to own her actions. I bit back the torrent of cruel words that clawed at my throat and simply walked out, leaving the house's shared space, but not the house itself. I would not abandon Alara or surrender my claim to the life I built. We became 2 miserable tenants in the same luxurious prison, speaking only about our daughter. The divorce process was a war of attrition. Serafina, emboldened by her victim narrative, wanted everything: the house, child support, and alimony. She seemed to view 50-50 custody, which was a given, as a generous concession. My lawyer was excellent but realistic, but in the end, she secured the house, a poison chalice, as the substantial mortgage is now hers alone. I got my equity cut. I had to swallow the bitter pill of alimony, though it was reasonably limited. Custody was split evenly. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted peace and my daughter. Life resumed its new, fractured rhythm. I found a new place, a minimalist bachelor pad, a world away from the home I built for our family in Neoterra. Then, 6 months post-divorce, a familiar softness entered Serafina's voice when I arrived to pick up Alara. It was unsettling. She asked to talk. "I'm so sorry, Jax," she began, tears welling instantly. "I've been doing a lot of soul-searching. I was wrong. I should never have blamed you. It was all me." It was nice to hear, yet hollow. I simply waited. Then came the punchline. "My life is miserable," she confessed, her shoulders shaking. "The budgeting, the mortgage, handling Alara alone. I realized how much you did. I missed you, Jax." But I wasn't listening to "I missed you." I was hearing, "I miss the ease. I miss the high-end restaurants, the travel, the financial buffer." She missed the life I built, the life she sold for the thrill of a dating app hookup. She missed being the pampered wife of an executive, not the struggling single mother fighting a hefty mortgage in a city with a high cost of living. She begged for a second chance, offering a slow restart. "No," I told her, my voice steel cold. "Absolutely not. The only reason we speak is Alara. I despise you for what you did to me. But what you did to her is unforgivable. Our daughter will never have a single memory of her parents loving each other because of your self-indulgent need for a spark. You have to live with that guilt. I picked up Alara, a perfectly innocent weight in my arms, and left Serafina, finally, completely alone. She was sobbing, a full body breakdown. I felt a surge of satisfaction, dark and undeniable. She craved excitement. Now she had it, the thrilling, miserable excitement of a shattered life. Misery is the price you pay when you cheat on the person who tried to give you everything. She didn't just cheat on me. She cheated herself out of a truly beautiful life. She got the freedom she craved, and now she's a prisoner of its cost. And for the record, to silence the whispers, I got the paternity test. Alara is unequivocally mine. That, at least, is a burden I don't have to carry. I'll take things one day at a time, being the rock my daughter needs, finally a truly free man.